Hello everybody, this is the Rabid Hedgehog, and this is going to be my review for both the GoPro Hero 4 Silver and the GoPro Hero 4 Session as motovlog cameras. And like I said, all these are going to be still at the 1080-60 with the Pro Tune on and the GoPro Vivid coloring scheme. That way they all match each other and you can see the difference in the picture qualities. Now when looking at the GoPro Hero 4 Session, this is GoPro's tiniest camera. It comes with two microphones, one here on the front, one here on the back, a couple of LED signaling devices here. Pop it open and you'll see the spot for the micro SD card and your charging ability. It has two buttons on it, and that's all it has. It has the one button here that allows you to go through, and as you can see, tells you what settings you're in, tells you to enter photo mode, camera settings, which basically all you can do with this is to change the resolution and the frames per second. That's about all you can do on the camera itself without using your control app from your phone. And also you can control it with the remote control. Just go ahead and exit out of there. Now the GoPro Hero 4 Session is not a bad little camera because it does come in a nice small package and waterproof out of the box up to 30 meters. So when looking at this, you gotta love that license plate, Punish. When you're looking at this camera, it's great for the auxiliary views, you know, kind of like if you wanted a good view from your swing arm, you can stick it down there, lock it in its skeleton case, and it comes with two of them. It comes with this one that's got a mount on the back, and it comes with the traditional one that's got the fork on the bottom, basically. So you can see, you can put that on there. This one does have that little ball, so you can actually rotate it around, as you can see. You can put it there, or another good view for this camera is right here. Kind of an alternative view on the side there. Great for that. Or if my Verb wasn't sitting there, it'd be great for the handlebar. I also have one of those hand mounts, and it's good for that as well. But overall, you know, it's not going to be very good after that. And I'm going to show you why. Like I said, it's got those two microphones, and the software inside tries to guess which one's got the best sound. So let's go ride with it real fast and listen to what this thing sounds like during a ride, and I'll show you the main problem with it. As you could hear from the microphones from the Session, that's why it would never be a mainline motovlog camera, just the auxiliary. I mean, like I said, it's great profile to use in multiple different locations on the bike, and in fact, you know, there's that little tidbit that it is, of course, waterproof up to 30 meters, so that means it can survive the rain, the mud puddles, and things like that, especially if you're using a dual sport like this one and you like to capture what you're doing off-road from the perspective of the bike, so you get a new you know, video and things like that, or new ways to video. So that's what the GoPro Session truly is for, and maybe, you know, to carry around and do interviews with and things, since it's got that dual microphone technology. And like I said, that's the thing, is the biggest downfall is the fact that the you know, the software inside the camera certainly just cannot pick the right microphone constantly. You can hear it change and sounds different and gets hollow and then changes back, and it just doesn't know what to do. And that's the biggest downfall for that. So in terms of it being a motovlog camera, it is absolutely worthless, so it doesn't get any stars for that. However, as a motovlogging auxiliary camera, it gets a 5 out of 5 because it's darn perfect for that. That's exactly what it needs to be for. It's just the alternate shots, like the handlebar mounted Garmin that I'm using right now, or where it's actually sitting at the Session on the fairing, and I only got the one Session, but I have a mount for it as well on the swing arm. So that's basically, you know, the best views and the best thing that thing can do. Now, when it comes to the thing that's on my face, the GoPro Hero 4 Silver. Everybody knows pretty much about GoPros now. They've been around for quite a while. They're basically the standard when it comes to action cams, you know. Now, the one thing that the GoPro Hero 4, you know, in terms of the boxiness and things, it only can be good for, you know, to me, being on the front of the helmet, maybe slightly offset like it is right now, so I can have the vents open because of how hot it is in Oklahoma. Right now it's 101 degrees. So, you know, I kind of have it different on this helmet than I did my Bell Qualifier, where it was dead in front of the vent. So this one, it takes care of that problem. But once again, don't mind the buckles and all that stuff that's on the front of this helmet. And the reason I have that is because I use it for every camera that I have. I use it for the Garmin, I use it for my Sony, and I use it for this one, so that way I can have it in multiple positions, still looking out the front, because I think that's the best point of view for you as the viewer, is to see it from my perspective, because you're going to get a better perspective that way as to what it really feels like while riding, you know. And here's the thing about the camera itself: when it comes down to the picture quality, it does by far have the most cinematic picture. And what I mean by that is that the colors are more vibrant, they pop out more because they're richer, they're not as natural as the Sony. So you get a very good cinematic feel just from this camera, and the fact that the processing is very smooth, it has very good dynamic range too. So as you see off into the distance, you see blue sky a lot longer than it does like fade to a wider gray. You can also clearly see some shadows in places like these trees or under cars and things, where you can clearly see that you know, there's an undercarriage of that car, versus like the Sony, where the dynamic range just quite does not make up that difference, and you get the white effect of the sky in the distance, and you get, you know, kind of a blurred effect under a car and some other shadows. So the GoPro does handle a lot of your image needs, more so than even the Sony, which, you know, I still love the Sony. It's a great camera in itself, but the Sony also kind of limits itself to where it can be mounted to the side of the helmet, similar to the way the GoPro limits itself to the fact that it should be on the front of the helmet. I know that there's some people that carry it on the sides, but when you're in Oklahoma and other states that suffer from terrible, stupid wind at 40 miles an hour for no particular reason, you know, just sitting still, you don't want something on the top of your helmet pulling your head back, or on the side pulling your head over. And the Sony, at least because it's aerodynamic, you don't have that problem. You can put it on the side with no issue. The big block of the GoPro, that's its only real downfall. So when you look at the GoPro Hero 4 Silver, you know, as being a motovlog camera, yeah, you get a lot of different things. You get up to 4K video. Of course, I think its max is 24 frames per second at 4K, and then usually I think is 15. I know it can do 2.7K at 30 frames per second, or a very cinematic feel 24 frames per second. Of course, 1080p 60. It can do 1440, but I apologize, I'll get the frame per second on that because I never use the 1440, but I'll put that in there as well. And of course 720p up to 120 frames per second. I mean, you got a wide range of HD video, and of course you can use a super slow-mo. You can do some zoom on these things when you're in editing. I mean, there's a lot of things you can just do to make the GoPro video more appealing than most of the other action cameras. I mean, the only one that comes close is Sony. The other thing about the GoPro is the fact that you can adapt it to anything that you're doing. I mean, if you name it, there is a mount, basically. I mean, seriously. You know, if you need something that floats, you can get something that floats. If you need something that's for motorcycles, you can definitely get something for motorcycles. If you need something for, you know, just everything. I mean, these things have been mounted in dishwashers and washing machines for clothes. I mean, just the dumbest things you could think of. There's a way to protect a GoPro and a way to mount it. And I mean, yeah, you could buy the adapters for the Sonys and things of that nature, but you have to adapt it, you know. And then the Sony's form factor just doesn't quite work with the way the GoPro profile fits. So you get a very wide range of things that you can do with the GoPro. Yes, you have to buy adapters if you want it to do several other things. I mean, whenever you want to use an external microphone, the external microphone must have a adapter that has a built-in resistor to turn off the internal microphone and then activate the external. GoPro sells that for $20. You can find some as low as $5 or maybe even cheaper, but just make sure it has an inline resistor in it, and that way it knows to shut off the internal microphones. So you can get those for a wider range of prices. You can get adapters to do Bluetooth and multiple audio wireless in by Bluetooth from Cena. Those are $100, yes, but you can still adapt it, and that's just the beauty of the GoPro. Yes, it's kind of expensive to start out with. Yes, the accessories do start to get expensive, but if you're going to do moto vlogging and you want something that's highly adaptable, yeah, this is darn near the perfect camera to do it with, because you're just able to do it, you know, much more in depth than you can with any other camera. I mean, yes, the Sony has the splash-proof body out of the package, so you don't have to worry about rain until you hook up the external microphone, which requires, of course, the bottom door to be open, so it's no longer water resistant. You can buy, of course, the whole waterproof case from Cena along with the Bluetooth backpack, and now it's a fully waterproof encased unit that's able to go wireless, similar to the Garmin Verb here. And it gets much better audio quality. I'm going to review the Bluetooth backpack here pretty shortly. I actually did receive one. I need to just update its firmware so it will work with my 10S. It works just fine with my SMH10s. It just does not want to work with my 10S right now because the firmware is actually the original. So I just picked one up, but I could find on Amazon pretty cheap, like $40 off the regular price I found everywhere else. And it wasn't used or anything. It was just kind of probably something they had on their shelf for a long time and wanted to get rid of, because like I said, it's the original firmware, so it's been on the market for a while for them. And the box was a little dusty when I got it, but it was never opened, so thing works. I tested it out, like I said, but like I said, you can adapt this thing to do anything. So when it comes down to the Hero 4 being you know, a motovlog camera, and especially the silver comes with, you know, an LCD screen on the back of it that's a touchscreen as well, that you can make all your adjustments for your frame per second, your video quality, your camera settings, your formatting, everything through that screen. You can even do playback on it, and of course get you know, an idea of what you're looking at with that LCD screen, all there on the back. And I mean, I don't even have to dismount it off the helmet. Basically what I do is I just tilt it forward, and I can work with it from it still being mounted to the helmet, then push it back to where it needs to be for filming. I mean, to me, it's the perfect balance versus the GoPro Hero Black that you still have to purchase the backpack LCD screen. So the silver to me becomes the better deal when it comes to a motovlog camera, for sure. So as a motovlogging camera, what is the Hero 4 score? Definitely a 4.75, almost darn perfect. The thing that kills it is, yes, it is expensive to get everything you absolutely need if you want a full setup, because of all the adapters and stuff you have to purchase. I wish there was a one size fits all. I mean, I wish the Garmin technology where it has Bluetooth built in to go to your microphone was already built into the GoPro. They have the ability to do that. I wish that, you know, they would just make an external microphone come through with a regular 3.5mm jack. I mean, those things can't be seriously that expensive to install on them. But I mean, that's really seriously the only gripe that I've got about them, is that, you know, just a couple of the adapters. So GoPro, definitely one of the better deals. And, you know, I won't do any like follow through or anything like that with this camera, like any pictures of it around it, because of the fact that it's a GoPro. Everybody knows what a GoPro is. The session, yeah, I showed it on video because it is a little bit different, since it's a different form factor and everything for GoPro. Now, in terms of battery life, you know, I'll have to say that because I run 1080 60, I don't ever go into the higher ones. I usually get right over an hour and a half with the GoPro Hero 4. I surprisingly get 2.5 hours and almost 3 hours out of that thing, the session. a couple of times. I've actually got really good battery life out of that, and I run it at 1080-60 only with Pro Tune on and Vivid Color. So I guess the session, I mean, the downfall is also no replaceable battery pack, so when it's dead, it's dead. That's another reason why not to be a mainline camera. It's dead, it's dead. You can't pull the battery pack and switch it. So when it comes down to it, GoPro Hero 4 Session, great camera for the auxiliary views. Terrible if you're going to use it as a mainline motovlog camera. Hero 4, darn near perfect. Once again, this is the Rabid Hedgehog. If you do have any questions regarding the GoPro Hero 4 Session and or GoPro Hero 4 Silver, please let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to give you an answer. And I'll leave some other things in the description below about the battery life and some other things that may have not come up completely, at least from the factory, what they claim it is. And that way you guys have a better idea. Keep the shiny side up, and we'll catch you on the next review.